Hello students, hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to discuss identifying customer requirement part 2 of Unit 1, applying methodology to network design for the subject enterprise network design of B7 semester IT University of Mumbai. In this lecture, we are going to discuss organizational goal, organizational constraints, technical goals and technical constraints. Every design project should begin with determining the organizational goals that are to be achieved. The criteria for success must be determined and the consequences of a failure understood. Network designers are often eager to start by analyzing the technical goals before considering the organizational goal and constraint. However, detailed attention to organizational goal and constraint is important for project success. In discussion about organizational goal, the designer obtained knowledge about the customer's expectation of the design's positive outcomes for the organization. Both short and long-term goals should be identified. The organizational centered approach allows the network to become a strategy, asset, and competitive weapon for the customer. So preliminary research on the organization's activities, product, process, services, market, suppliers, competitive advantages, and structure enhances the positioning of technologies products to be used in the network. So there are several questions which help in determining organizational goal. Like what are the what are you trying to accomplish with this project? What business challenges are you currently facing? What are the consequences of not resolving these issues? How would you measure or quantify success if you could fix or correct the identified problem and issue? What applications are most critical to your organization? What is the major objective of this project? What is driving the change? Do you need to support any government or safety or legal mandate? What are the main concerns with the implementation of new solution? What technologies or services are needed to support your objectives? What other technology, project, and business initiatives will affect your group in the next 2 to 5 years? What skill sets does your technical staff currently have? And what is your goal for return of investment? There are several questions which is starting from what. So what is what what? So many whats are there. Some how and some do you need questions are there. And these questions may be changed according to your requirement mainly. So you can change according to your requirement. Organizational goals are differ from organizations to organizations. So there are some typical goals that commercial organization might have, like increase the operations generated revenue and profitability. A new design should reduce cost to certain segment and propel growth in others. The network designer should discuss with the customers any expectation about how the network will influence revenues and profit. Shorten development cycles and enhances productivity by improving initial data availability and interdepartmental communication. Very simple thing. Improve customer support and offer additional customer services that can expedite reaction to customer needs and improve customer satisfaction. Open the organization's information structure infrastructure to all key stakeholders like prospects, investors, customers, partners, suppliers, and employees, and build relationship and information accessibility to a new level. To understand the importance of considering organizational goal in the network design, consider two manufacturing enterprise that are contemplating network updates. Enterprise A's main reason for change is to improve customer satisfaction. It has received many complaints that customer information is difficult to obtain and understand, and there is a need for online ordering capability. In contrast, Enterprise B is driven by the need to reduce cost. This is a mandate from its CEO. When design decisions are made, these goals will most likely result in different outcomes. For example, enterprise A might choose to implement an integrated product information database with e-commerce capability, whereas enterprise B might not see the value of investing in this technology. So there are several examples, and most commonly, these are the organizational goal, common organizational goal. First is increase competitiveness, list competitive organization and their advantages and weaknesses, note possible improvement that might increase competitiveness or effectiveness. Second thing is reduce cost. That is very, very important goal. Reducing operational costs can result in increased profitability even without a revenue increase, or increase services with the same revenue. So list current expenses to help determine where cost could be reduced. Next is improve customer support. This is also very important. Customer support services help provide a competitive advantage. List current customer support services with comments about possible and desired improvement. And last but not the least, add new customer services. So these are also modification in customer services are also required. List current customer services and note future and desired requested services. So we are listing all these things for particular organization X. So what is the organizational goal with respect to these four parameters? So first thing is increase competitiveness, corporation Y and corporation Z's better product and reduce the cost. So we are comparing these things, reduce cost, repeating task, enter, entering data multiple times and consuming tasks. So single data entry point is there, easy to learn application and simple data actions we have designed. Improve customer support. Order tracking and technical support is done by individuals. Introduction of web-based order tracking and web-based tool for customers technical support. Next is add new customer services. So current services, telephone and fax orders and telephone and fax confirmation. So instead of using these two, we use secure web-based ordering and secure web-based confirmation. Discuss organizational. Now, what are the constraints with respect to these goals? Let us discuss one by one. What in our current process works well? What in our current process does not work well? Which processes are labor intensive? What are the barriers for implementation of your organization? What are your major concerns with the implementation of new solution? What financial and timing element must be considered? What project already have budget approval? Are other plant technology projects and business initiative compatible with your current infrastructure and technology solution? What qualifications does your current staff have? Do you plan to hire more staff? If so, for what roles? Do you have budget for technical development for your staff? And are there any policies in place that might affect the project? So these are the typical constraints with respect to a particular organization goal, and these are the typical constraints. Main, more or less, these are the constraints like budget, personnel, policies, and schedule. All these questions are coming under these four these four constraints. So, what is budget? Reduced budgets or limited resources often force network designers to implement an affordable solution rather than the best technical solution. This usually entails some compromises in availability, manageability, performance, and scalability. The budget must include all equipment purchase, software licenses, maintenance agreements, staff training, and so forth. Budget is often the final decision point for design implement elements, selected equipment, and so on. The designer must know how much money is available to invest in solid design. It also useful to know that areas in which the network can be compromised to meet budget requirements. Personnel. The availability of trained personnel within the organization might be a design consideration. Organization might not have enough trained personnel, or they might not have enough personnel. Familiarity with both the equipment and technologies speeds deployment and reduces the cost, and trained technicians must be available to verify that all network elements are working properly. Therefore, the designer must know the number and availability of operational personnel, their expertise, and possible training requirement. Additional constraint might be imposed if the organization is outsourcing network management. The designer must consider the network's implementation and maintenance phase, which require adequately trained staff. Next is policies. Third is policies. Organizations have different policies about protocol, standards, vendors, and application to design the network successfully, and the designer must understand these policies. Suppose the designer should determine customer policy related to single vendor or multiple vendor perform platforms. An end-to-end single vendor solution might be benefit because compatibility issue do not restrain the network. As another example, many organizations such as government agencies, for example DRDO and BARC, often have strict policies preventing implementation of proprietary protocol. Schedule. The organization's executive management must discuss and approve the project schedule to avoid possible disagreement about deadlines. For example, the introduction of new network application often driven the new network design and implementation timeframes for new applications are often tightly connected and therefore influence the availability time for the network design. So let us see how design is concerned. What is the budget, personnel, policy, and schedule? So organizational constant include first thing is budget. So the budget is 17.5 lakh rupees. Budget can be extended by a maximum of 25 lakh. Then personal. So in case of personal, two engineers with BE and CCNA, BTech CCNA for network maintenance, and one has CCNP Cisco Certified Network Professional, three engineers for various operating system and application maintenance. So this is the current data situation, gathered data situation, and comment plans to hire additional engineers for network maintenance, lead technical development plan for staff. Third thing is policy. So prefers a single vendor policy and standardized protocol to maintain the compatibility. Current equipment is of Cisco, prefers to stay with Cisco. And fourth is schedule. Plans to introduce various new applications in the next 8 months. Within 8 months, we need to introduce this new application. Will be shortly our video conferencing, groupware, and IP telephony. So these are the things which we need to implement in our organization X. For this purpose, we need to design the table and we need to check what are our constraints. So these are the organizational constraints. Now come to technical goals. Beside organizational constraints, technical goals are also very important. So first technical goal is what are your technology priorities? Means in which technology you want to go? How does your technology budgeting process work? If we go for advanced technology, it requires more budget. If we go towards open source, then there are some constraints. What infrastructure issue exists or will exist related to your application rollout? So when we go for our application rollout, what are the infrastructure issues may come? What skill set does your technical staff needs to acquire because it is new technology which we want to implement? So what are the skill set we need to improve? Does your current network have any performance issue? So we need to check whether it is based on optical fiber or some other kind of network are there, and if performance issue persists, then we need to rectify this under the same button. Which portion of your network are considered mission critical? So we need to check which portion, which particular portion is mission critical. So first we need to change this. Do you anticipate significant growth in the number of network user over next few years? So if this is our thing, then we need to go for cloud solution and some other solutions. Okay, how is your network managed now? So this is very important question, how we are going to manage our network. So there are several things. Based on these constraints, we check how to achieve the technical goal. So common technical goals may include, suppose one corporation X is there, so its technical goal, improve network performance. Importance is given using one number. Important in central site, less important in branch offices. Next is improve security and reliability of mission critical application and data. So the importance of this field is 15. The critical data transaction must be secure, must be secure. It is not shall be secure or like that. Decrease expected downtime and related expense. So downtime means we need to reduce the downtime and availability. So this is very important. 25%, 25 is the important, and it should be 99.9% availability of our new app. Modernize outdated technology. So adaptability, whether it exists in old technology to new technology, the importance is 10. No comment is going here. Then improve scalability of network. So it is also 25. The network must be scalable. Okay, means we need to extend our new devices and new processors. So across that processor and devices, it must be scalable. Simplify network management. So manageability is 5 point and total 100 point. Out of this 100 scale, this shows the importance of corporation X technical goal. Now come to technical constraints. So there are different technical constraints. First is how to determine your technology priorities. Do you have technology refresh process? If so, is that an obstacle or does it support the proposed project? Next, what urgent technical problem require immediate resolution or mitigation? Do you have a plan for technical development for your staff to staff in specific areas? And do any application require special network features like protocol and so forth? In recent days, SDN is very common. Software defined network. This is new protocol for IoT. So whether this is required or not. Okay. So good network design addresses constraints by identifying possible trade-off like existing equipment, whether this existing equipment work together with new or not, bandwidth availability, whether the present technology is good with the bandwidth or not, application compatibility, new application is compatible with old application or not, lack of qualified personnel to manage the interoperability between new and old technology. So let us see technical constraint for corporation X, existing equipment. So existing equipment is coaxial cable. The cabling must be replaced with twisted pair to the desktop and fiber optic for uplinks in the core. Next is bandwidth availability. So 64 kbps, it is very, very less type of link, and we need to upgrade the bandwidth, change to another service provider because the current does not have any other links to offer. So we need to go for 100 mbps link minimum using different vendors like Airtel, Geo, and some other vendors, BSNL, MTNL, and so on. Then application compatibility, IP version 6 based applications. The new network equipment must support IP version 6. So in socket programming, it is already given. So there is no problem with application compatibility if we are going to make application compatible with IP version 6. These are the common questions generally asked. So what are the questions? Let us see. What features and are included in Cisco version of intelligent network? So this is under video 3. Describe three phases of evolving to an intelligent information network. Video 3. Describe the three layers of SONA framework. Video 3. Name some of the benefit of 3 or 4. Name some of the benefit of using SONA framework. 4. What are some typical organizational goal? 5. During which PPDIOO phase is the initial design verification. So it is coming under SONA. What are three basic steps in design methodology? See SONA. What steps are needed to implement a design? Again, see SONA. List some determinants of scope of design. Again, SONA. That is 4. What steps are involved in gathering network requirement? So this is coming under 5 and 6. Yes, we finished. Organizational goals, organizational constraint, including budget, personnel, policies, and schedule, technical goals, and technical constraints. So with this, we finish chapter number 6. In next video, we will see characterizing the existing network and site. So bye for now. We will meet in next video with characterizing existing network and site. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.